We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
Join me and my co-host Kareem Hamid every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Female Solution Radio Show as we explore that relationship that is the foundation for our society, the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives. Join our discussion as we seek to repair broken family ties and rebuild our community. Listen online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to our host. Or you can join us live on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the-female-solution.
And we are back, and you're listening to and watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV Show. I'm Naima Latif, and in just a moment we're going to bring in our co-host Kareem Hamid, and we, of course, invite you to be a part of this discussion. We are excited to bring you a book that we have been advocating for a while, that we add to our repertoire of books. And this is a book that can revolutionize your thinking. The title of it is Making Love to God, The Path to Divine Sex, written through Trans Channel Tina Louise Spalding. And of course, we are grateful to our American Muslim 360 family for tuning in. I'm going to make sure I open the microphones and get your comments. And as always, we appreciate those of you who join us live on Facebook and add your comments as well. And if you've read the book, we want you to give us your thoughts, because of course, your opinion matters as we prepare for a new earth and shaping new thought. So we'll be right back in just a moment with our co-host, Kareem Hamid. And We want you to be a part of this discussion. Yes. So we are certainly connected now.
She began with mentioning sexual assault and how the ramifications of that lingers with the victims of sexual assault. The pain that follows, that has a way of following the victim, negatively affecting them throughout their lives. And we want to be an aid in overcoming that horrible trauma. Inshallah, God willing. So we hope that what we present this morning will address the lingering trauma of having been a victim of sexual assault.
Yes. So, Brother Kareem, can you hear me?
Is Naima back with us, Martha?
Yes. Can you hear me? Let me make sure. I might have to open this mic. Can you hear me now? Yes. Can you hear me now? Just making sure that we have all the mics open.
Loud and clear. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, can you hear me now? Okay.
Is our guest with us this morning?
So now we're. Can you hear my voice? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Wonderful. Great. Yes.
The reception is excellent.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. We're always on these multiple platforms. We have to make sure that we have our audio systems correct. And of course, we've got people listening and watching on our Female Solution Facebook page. So we urge you all to write in your comments if you want to join us live on Facebook. We're going to do some quotes from the book. Our guest is actually traveling today across country. She's moving from Canada to the United States at the moment. Just finished a marvelous seminar, workshop, a retreat in Sedona, Arizona. And so in the meantime, because we want to prepare our audience for the day when she's going to be able to join us as a guest, but certainly we do want to encourage our listeners and viewers to be familiar with her work. And this particular book that I'm referencing is one that I have read and enjoyed and highly advocate because of the fact that we have so many distortions in our understanding about our sexuality. And it's because we've been mistaught for so many centuries. And this misteachings has resulted in a lot of the misbehavior, a lot of the repressive kinds of actions that have been taken, a lot of punitive actions. And so I want to open our minds this morning so that we can begin to realize that, in a sense, we have been brainwashed in a very profound way. And as a result, we are lacking in spiritual growth because a vital part of our lives has been distorted. And so I felt compelled to address this, particularly after our Sunday show with our host, Viata, because she talked about R. Kelly and that whole case. And there's so many different points of view regarding what happened and whether or not him receiving jail time was just or unjust, and whether or not sex is really a crime if the participants were in some ways willing or even aggressively pursuing, and so many different things that came out of that discussion. I realized that it's time for us to talk about this and the impact that this book had on me, Making Love to God, The Path to Divine Sex. It really helped me to see even how our religious institutions have been harmful because of misteachings. And sometimes when something comes through a religion and people say this is the word of God, then even if it's harmful and destructive, we're too afraid to let it go. And we need to understand that God does not put forth anything in this universe to hurt us. Everything is a learning experience for our expansion, our creative abilities, and most of all, our ability to love and to know what love is. So anything that is hateful connected to our sexuality is not coming from God. It's coming from our own misunderstanding, our own limited human understanding, our own fear, and many times our own intentional misteachings in order to try to control someone else. And none of us are here to control anyone but ourselves. So I felt compelled, of course, to talk about this book and to look at some of the ways that we have harmed each other because of our lack of understanding. So we've got several callers on the line. And even before I get into, I'm going to share with our listeners and viewers a portion of chapter 1, how we came to misunderstand sexual energy. But before I do that, I want to give our listeners and viewers a chance to make their comments. First, I want to share a comment from Deborah Imani Ukda, Washington. And she says, wow, Rahima Abdullah, I wish marriage and courtship would be live on Tuesday evenings. Okay, so now that is a request for the courtship class to be live. She says, I just added the book to my Amazon wish list. Great. So she got that particular book. And because our brother Mark does a courtship and marriage class, I'm certainly advocating that this be a book in the repertoire of people who are seeking to create healthy relationships, because our relationships are very unhealthy, often because of the way sexuality was introduced. So before I get into a portion of the book, I want to give our callers on the line a chance to make a comment right before we take a break, and then I'll go into the book. Do you have anybody on your switchboard? I've got a couple on my switchboard. You mind if I open a few mics here?
No callers.
Okay, well, let me go to area code 773-499. Grand Rising. Thank you for joining us. Give us your name, where you're calling from, and your comments.
Good morning, Cooper James from Chicago.
Ah, Brother Kofi. Good to hear you. Yes.
Yeah, you got a stunning title today.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm glad it drew you into the conversation.
Yeah, the title of the book is kind of a bombshell in itself. It kind of hit me because I was fortunate. I've never been sexually abused. And, I was an athlete growing up. I was a strong kid, and I kind of just always had vision and goals for myself. And I practiced celibacy, or abstinence. And what that did for me, it made me connect with God. It made me connect with nature. So I don't hurt, harm, or another, because I look to nature first. I don't. I vibe with the trees, with the moon, and the sun. I got a show called The Secrets of the Universe. I vibe with nature first. And one thing I learned is that, sometimes, like you use this word a lot when you're talking this morning, and you always said we, us. I don't do that anymore, because I'm a single individual, and if I put myself in the we, I'm actually attaching myself to other people's issues. I stopped saying that a couple years ago, and it really helped me. We need to do this, we this, and we that, and we that. And I'm not, coming at that word for you, for you saying it, but we got to I almost say this. I have to really realize that we are individuals on our own journey, and if we start saying we, everything that's negative actually attach ourselves to us. Our sexual behaviors. We need to do this, and we look at everybody else. I try to be accountable for myself, because sexuality is a gateway to a positive experience with creation, or it could be a negative experience with creation.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be a positive or a negative. That is right. Well, we got to take a break, Kofi, but we want you to hold on. We're going to come back and take a look at this, because, of course, if we understand that we all are expressions of the divine creator of the universe we call God, then just as we are separate individuals, separate expressions, we are separate expressions of the one. And when you understand that, then everyone is a part of you. But we'll talk about that when we come back and go into that first chapter. And then we've got area code 863-816. We're going to get your comments. We're going to do a book review of the book, Making Love to God, Path to Divine Sex. And yes.
Naima?
Yes.
Yes. After this break, I would like to share a few comments on this subject matter.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we'll have your comments, and then I'll read the first chapter. I want to hear what you have to say first, and then we'll talk about this thought that's transforming thought. So I know you all have to run some public service announcements.
You did.
Okay, so that takes care of that. All right, so we will be right
Don't
back.
touch that dial. We'll be right back after these quick messages. You are listening to the CWSC Friday Roundtable only on American Muslim 360.
And we'll be back in just one moment. So we want you to stick and stay. Don't stray away.
Tune in to Sofa Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear great topics and stories on grief and turn it into victory. Join Dr. Debbie Green to listen to stories of triumph and learn how to overcome. You are not alone in your life, and there is hope in the darkest hour. This is your time to learn strategies and solutions to improve your life. It's your time. So join Dr. Debbie Green with Sofa Solutions and call in on Thursday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 515-605-9325 with comments and questions. Look to hear from you real soon. Hallelujah, greetings in the spirit of Braille and Yah Shalom. Braille means we are one. Yah is he who takes the name for God, and Shalom means peace. I'm Evangel Mama Beloved Yah Nubian, and I'm inviting you to join me every fourth Saturday from 2 to 2 p.m. Wisdom with Mama G. Call me number 515-605-9325. Wisdom, living in the Lord of godliness, separation, and spiritually speaking, men who do the will of God are mothers too. And expository education, author, international award in sports, and ordained minister. Females, I want you to say farewell to all things clean up that prevents your potential. You can live life and give birth to babies. A kid is an animal being with 4 legs. A child is an innocent infant with 2 legs. Sex can change feelings, but feelings cannot change facts. A mother teaches love. Love is beyond everything out of hate. That's what wisdom with Mother is about. Join me every fourth Saturday from 4 to 2 p.m. Call in 515-605-9325 to share your wisdom and love codes in the shape. Remember, mother's farewell. If you don't, your child won't. And if he doesn't, society disappears. Females, you are courageous and sure with the power to change this world. Use it. What if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating. So if we take proper care of ourselves, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Tucson Essentials on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and yourself feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jody Susan. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today.
Yes, I'm back.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes, fantastic. We always, no matter what happens, we figure out how to make it work, don't we? Yeah.
That's right.
I had one of my phones that went out and everything. So yeah, but the show must go on. So we appreciate your resilience, and thank you, Sister Martha Nyla, for saving the day. We certainly could not have done this without you. Yes. So as we take a look at this thought, we want to get your thoughts, Brother Kareem. You know, a lot of religious thought and teachings surrounds the sexuality of males and females, and the regulations and the prohibitions and the restrictions and all of that. And it's supposedly designed to keep us from miscreating, you know, from bringing children into the world that we're not ready or able to take care of. But beyond that, sometimes I have to ask myself, how come we're all up in everybody's business about what they're doing with their bodies, if it hasn't got anything to do with producing children that then become the responsibility of the community to protect and raise? You know, if it's not about that, how is what somebody else does about their body, with their body, anybody else's business? That's a thought that comes to mind. But of course, I want to hear your thoughts as we prepare to take a look at the book, Making Love to God, A Path to Divine Sex.
Yes. You know, we are all connected. We are social creatures. And in a lot of cases, how we behave will affect all of us. We cannot live in this world by ourselves. And there has to be a healthy way that contributes to the health of the community. So if I'm doing something that is I may only just see it as just, well, I'm doing this, and think that it does not affect the community, I'm in great error. We are experiencing now a breakdown in the community life due to appetite and natural drives that we have, appetites that is unchecked by knowledge. Everything has a knowledge content and a knowledge base to it. Even the appetite of sex, just unbridled sex, like we are seeing now, just for sport and play, and the men, not all, but some men, just walk away. And the natural process of sex can produce another human soul. And some men they divorced themselves for any responsibility. It was just a recreational act. So what we do has affected the community in which we live. That's why we have a lot of unwed mothers, because we have appetites that are divorced from knowledge. So, yes, we should be teaching each other, even in that area that we think is just my private life. I can do whatever I want. Yeah, but there is a right and a wrong to everything. There is a knowledge connected to our appetites. And everything has a body of knowledge connected to it. Sex is the reproductive process the appetite for pleasure is not checked by knowledge, we have the result that we see now. Just recreational sex. Just with no responsibility of what the sexual act is designed to produce. It is designed so that we reproduce ourselves. It is the system upon which life enters the world. And that's a great responsibility that comes along with that. So yes, there should be prohibitions in our thinking. I should not see my wife as just my pleasure thing. My pleasure thing. And I emphasize the word thing. There is emotions that are tied to the sexual act. There is a sense of responsibility connected with this natural appetite, the natural appetite that Almighty God has placed within us, so that we reproduce ourselves and care for that which is produced. So this act of sex is not just for sport and play. Yes, it is pleasurable, but there is also responsibility and a system of knowledge connected to that. So yes, you will hear some do's and don'ts in relationship to this most valuable system called reproduction. It is authored by God. God created that. And it is God that places love and mercy between our hearts. You know, I'm so grateful that to hear from the female perspective concerning courtship and marriage. We have a wonderful sister, Manira Habil. She's a female, and she broadcasts on AM 360 every Tuesday evening. And she is coming from the female perspective on issues like this. And it's wonderful to hear from a thoughtful female in connection with courtship, marriage, sex, family, all of these issues. For she is a very important ingredient in our family lives, the female perspective. And that's why I'm so grateful that we have the female solution here, so that we can hear the female perspective. But I'm grateful that you invited me to lend some balance on the male perspective, that our females are not our pleasure thing. They are not our pleasure thing. And these are natural appetites that we have, but if it is not checked by knowledge, then that's all it will become. As if the partner or person that you're having sex with has no emotions, has no feelings, have no say-so. These are two souls joined together, and as you have said, Naima, in a lot of cases, the man makes sex with his physical body. The woman, she participates in sex with her spirit. So this act is sacred, and it is designed to produce and bring about another soul in the creation. And it should not be treated lightly as just women or our playthings, our pleasure thing. And I reiterate
Oh, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Absolutely. And I understand we've got a caller in the queue on American Muslim 360, Dr. Beza on the line. And then we've got area code 863-816 in the queue here. And I want to give our listeners an opportunity to express their thought before I get into the book, just for us to share their thoughts. And you said something very profound, Brother Kareem, which I'm going to probably repeat to a lot of my male associates. Men participate in sex with their bodies. Women participate in sex with their spirit. And I think that is one of the reasons why it's such a profound experience for women, especially if in any way there is the energy of force or degradation tied to that act. It can be so devastating as to drive a woman to suicide because of the spiritual damage. And this is something that men are not taught. And as you say, it's about teaching. If you don't teach right, then if people don't teach you right, they won't treat you right. So it's important to understand. But before I start talking, because I go on and on and on, let me bring in first let me get to 863, and then if Dr. Beza, we're going to try to get her before the break, and then we're going to come back and talk about that book, Making Love to God, Path to Divine Sex. Pardon me, I am having computer issues. My computer froze. So while I am frozen, area code 863, you just hold on there. Let's go to Dr. Beza on American Muslim 360 line. So Martha Nile, if you'll bring her in.
Dr. Beza.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
And you hear loud and clear. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for good morning and greetings of Assalamu alaikum to the entire world. And this is absolutely a very profound discussion. And hearing the commentary of Imam Kareem Hamid and yours.